What's cracking, everybody? Knucklehead Street TV. Welcome to the turf. Hope everybody's having a productive day today. So, I've been going over this Lil Durk trial, and it's day 4. So I got like up to date and current with the proceedings, and like just some key highlights that happened today during trial. Some of the testimony from OTF Jam and the cross-examination and all that. So I'm gonna get into it, man. So pull up a chair if you dare, get a snack and kick back. Um, so boom. I've been watching this shit because, to be honest, man, like it's there's 3 murder for hire trials going on all at the same time. 3 of them, right? You got the Mo 3, you got um Tupac, which is damn near 30 years old, and the OTF murder for hire on the cousin of Quando Rondo, Lul Pab. And that shit's crazy to me. There's a lot of alignments going on, like, and this is just one of them. But we're gonna get into that other shit later. Those are for different videos. But so yeah, so boom, and I got this from some notes, from the internet. So if I miss a few things, then my bad. But so day 4 of the Lil Durk federal murder for hire for blah, 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 blah. Day 4 of the Lil Durk federal murder for hire trial, Thursday the 27th, 2026, which was obviously um, today, brought major courtroom drama, including a shocking surprise celebrity appearance and intense cooperating witness testimony, which really that just consists of OTF Jam. I think he's the only. They only had one witness, and his testimony kind of was bleeding through yesterday's. So you got 3 days of testimony. That's the cross examination included, which is a lot. I mean, if you ask me, especially for a federal trial. But anyway, like one of the key highlights is OTF Jam admitting that he feels bad for testifying. So it says here, cooperating witness Kacey Hester, known as OTF Jam, returned to the witness stand for his second day of testimony. After directly implicating Lil Durk in the planning of the 2022 retaliatory hit against Quando Rondo, Jam made an emotional admission to the jury on cross-examination. And they got a quote right here that's pretty deep and kind of summarizes, man, like his whole testimony, and my personal opinion. But what he says is, uh, and quoted, "I still got a lot of love for him. Blood was there for me. I feel bad. I know he probably hates me. I got love for him. I just don't have respect for him." And I'm gonna break that down for you because, like, now I haven't heard if he gave a reason, like why he, like what was his, when he made the decision, like to testify against Lil Durk and work for the feds, basically. Like I don't think he's like had anything during his testimony that like gave a definitive, that definitely like gave reasons for why he is testifying. But I think right here kind of like it hits hard. I think this is like the reason, like exactly to a T. He says, "I got love for him. I just don't have respect for him." Right? So it's like, what does that like? What does that mean? Like he's got love for him because they're from the same organization, but he just doesn't respect him, and it's like, he Dirk must have done something for him to not have respect for him. It's like you got a guy who's, man. Look, when you got like when you're a multimillionaire, people that and you've got ties to the streets, um, and people see you getting money, it don't matter how much money you might give them or what you do for them. Like there's gonna be that little bit of jealousy and resentment, and I think that kind of plays a part in it. And I think when you got somebody who's like a known, who's got, he's admitting to having three bodies. That's a part of his plea deal. So that's just, I mean, like that's, he's got one when he was 15, one when he was the Lil Pab hit, and he hasn't said what the third hit was. But what I'm saying is, you got somebody who's a known shooter who's killed, at least three people that we know of. People like that don't respect people who hustle and get money. It's just a fact. Like motherfuckers who's violent don't like people who aren't violent. Like you only get respect two ways, either through violence. I mean, really, that's it. Violence is that's it. Like, because it ain't really about the respect; it's about the fear. You know what I mean? Because respect and like in my opinion, respect and love is like kind of the same thing, right? You got love and fear, and like fear is a lot more important because if you're afraid of something, like you're gonna leave, you're gonna it'll keep you in check. If you respect or if you love something, like you're more prone to fuck up and go against it. That's just my opinion. And I think that's what happened. I think he's in jail, so Durk sending him money. He gets out, he gives him 50,000, right? And he's putting in this work for him, and he's doing all these things. And I think maybe he's like, man, I'm out here, killing people for him. I'm doing X Y Z for him, and all he's got, he's getting the credit for it. But I'm the one putting in the work. I'm putting in the leg work. Like I'm out here risking my freedom. While he can just sit back in a chair and fucking bark orders. Like at some point in time, like you're, it don't matter how much money or how well paid somebody is, they're always gonna want more. That's just how that shit works. I don't know their specific situation, but I think that's what happened. I think, this guy's got fucking $20 million. Whether he does or doesn't, that shit don't matter. But he might assume that he's got 20 M's, and he only gave me 50K. He gives me $50,000, and he's got 20 million. Like, why can't you give me an M? Like, I'm putting people in the dirt for you. You know what I mean? I'm getting the get back that you're taking credit for a lot of the work that I'm doing. And you give me 50K, like that shit don't work. You know what I mean? Like the fuck. Um. So, anyways, but we don't know all the details. But so that's that. Um. Then it says, uh, and what they kind of like their little context of that quote is, it says Jan, who accepted a plea deal to testify against his former collective, spent the day recounting the internal operations of only the family. He confirmed that Durk helped take care of him financially in the past, which the defense is using to paint Jam's testimony as as a desperate fabricated move to save himself from life in prison. I mean, yeah, like I don't think it's him being desperate. I think the defense is fucking up by attacking him. When he got on the stand, the first thing he said is he had to rob somebody when he was like 10 years old for food because both his parents, his mom and his dad, were drug addicts. So he turned to a life of crime to take care to survive. And that kind of shit will pull them fucking heartstrings on the jury. So by them trying to um, attack him and calling him desperate, like yeah, he's obviously he's desperate. Like, but what I'm saying is like I don't think it's that. I think that like he was envious and jealous, and he was doing all the work and getting fucking breadcrumbs for it. And he wasn't like when he felt like he deserved more respect and more money and wasn't getting it, and he was getting the shaft. So it's like, man, if I gotta do fucking life in prison for these people who ain't really taking care of me like how I think they should. Fuck it. And if I'm going down, I'm taking everybody down with me. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, makes sense to me. So, um, but anyway, so moving along. In a moment that stunned the courtroom, Chicago hip hop mogul Ye, formerly Kanye West, walked into the federal courthouse to support Lil Durk. Dressed in an all-black outfit, Ye sat directly with Durk's family in the gallery. Outside the courtroom, Ye was spotted alongside OTF artist Duty Low holding up a custom Free Durk t-shirt. Duty Low later posted about it online stating, Ye, we love and respect you for showing up at our darkest times. Ye is the second major star to attend this week following a brief appearance by Machine Gun Kelly a few days prior. Let me stop right there, man, because so allegedly Duty Low is co-conspirator number 4. He provided Quando's location in California, right? So OTF Jam testified under oath, mind you, and says that they got a phone call one night and was instructed to get on an airplane and fly to California. They didn't give him any details. He tried to call Durk. Durk didn't answer. They came back and said he don't want nobody calling him. He doesn't want no direct ties to what's going on. You know, just trust us. We'll explain when we get there. Boom. So they get there. Duty Low FaceTimes fucking he video chats Jam, OTF Jam, and says, here's where Quando Rondo is. I want you guys pretty much to hit him up. Right? And this is in the paperwork, and this is also a part of Jam's testimony. So what I don't understand is how the fuck is Duty Low outside the courthouse? Why did he not get indicted with everybody else? You know, and like you gotta have some big motherfucking balls to be included. Like he's saying, hey, this motherfucker gave me the location. He's the one that told me to kill him, right? And you're outside with Free Durk t-shirts. You got like you're organizing the crowd. You're doing all these things outside, right? For one or two reasons, man. Like I think ultimately, I think it has a lot to do with the fact either one, he's been a Fed the whole time and he flipped first. Like he's kind of known for hustling, right? He's from Kankakee, so he's not even from Chicago, but it's like within proximity, like it's close to, like you know what I mean. But he's OTF, right? But he pushes weight, allegedly. So what if he gets busted and popped, and he's like, I'm not gonna be in no paperwork. I ain't gonna wear a wire, but I'll give you everything that you need to know. Like here's the ball. You guys can take and run with it. Just keep me out of it. Something like that. I mean, I think it's 100% um, believable, or possible. That's the word I was looking for. It's completely possible because, like bro, he's doing interviews. He's doing a whole bunch of things. Like he not worried about the fact that OTF Jam is testifying that they got the location for the murder. Maybe not that time though. I think if I remember correctly, what happened was they brought him to California, but the hit didn't go down, right? Like it got too hot and they called it off. But still, it don't matter. Like you're in the paperwork as giving the location, having like 5 or 6 people flown to California, right? To prepare to kill somebody, even though it didn't go down, that shit don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you're bouncing around doing all type of weird ass shit, like without a care in the world. That shit highly suspicious, bro. Like that shit, I don't know, but what happens in the darkness will come to light. So eventually, it's gonna come out, whether now or later. Who knows what the fuck? But it's just it struck me as odd. You know what I'm saying? Um. So and back on track. I ramble a lot, so my fault. My bad. Anyway, earlier in the day, the prosecution brought back FBI Special Agent Jaron Farnby to detail the digital breadcrumbs linking the operation together. The government introduced travel logs showing how an OTF affiliate named Jason Smith systematically booked commercial flights for the five alleged hitmen. Prosecutors claim these flights were financed through Durk controlled funds, placing the shooters in Los Angeles right before Saviay'a Robinson, aka Lul Pab, was killed. The defense continues to argue that these bookings were standard travel for entourage members and not evidence of a murder plot. Once again, if that's true, the defense is fucking up. They already know and have evidence that they flew to California. Like, bro, you motherfuckers got on a plane, flew to California, shot dude, and then flew back. They got phone logs, they got the rental car logs in the proximity. Like even if they don't have exact evidence, it's too close. It's too close for comfort, right? Like it's called circumstantial, but there's enough of it to convict them. If I was on the jury and I had to make a choice, you know what I'm saying? If I'm looking at so far, like I'm like, with on this little certain situation, the defense is really. I just feel like they're lacking, man. Like they're lacking with that. Like what they need to do, they don't need to. They need to stop trying to disprove what happened. It happened. The question isn't whether or not these motherfuckers killed Lil Pab. The question is, did Durk fucking hire everybody to do it? Did he fund it? And they don't have no money being transferred. They don't got no money changing hands, no kind of exchange. So they need to focus on that. If they want to get Durk off the hook, they need to focus on that. They already, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just my personal opinion. But cause like normally, if you got somebody that got shot, right? You got all these people from Chicago fly like 500 something fucking miles away while they're there, right? Somebody gets killed. Somebody that they got beef with. Somebody gets killed. Right after the killing, these motherfuckers are flying back. And if they were there for like with entourage and standard travel, then what evidence do they have that proves it was just standard travel? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta Brian Steele is fucking up with that shit, man. I don't, so that's basically what happened. So I looked into like the cross examination. And that's the main goal. I don't really don't give a fuck about OTF Jam's testimony, right? Like, yeah, it's heavy, and it's the first like member of OTF to testify against Lil Durk, right? So it's important, but there's you got Vonnie. His is a lot more important. So it's like we got and his is stronger. Like so obviously his is gonna be the second. You know what I'm saying? I have like the five people. They've got 35 witnesses. You know what I'm saying? So I would think I would want to assume that people like Jam and Vonnie and them they would have towards the end because you got 35 motherfuckers. The first two people after when you get to the 35th person they gonna forget all about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit, kind of just like I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that are happening that I just wouldn't think would happen. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit just seems weird. The shit's off. I don't, it's just off, bro. Like, um, so let's keep looking. Uh, okay, so we'll just read it from the top. And as far as the testimony goes, they highlighted the primary lines of attack from the defense during today's cross examination include the first highlight is exposing the plea deal. Brian Steele and the co-defendants' legal teams are hammering Jam on his strong incentive to lie because Jam already has a past murder conviction and confessed to gang involvement. The defense is painting him as a desperate criminal who is fabricating or embellishing a story about Lil Durk in exchange for a lighter federal sentence. What do I think? How do I feel about that? Um, you know, they're trying to say, so the defense is trying to say, and they're painting him as a desperate criminal who is fabricating or embellishing a story about Lil Durk in exchange for a lighter federal sentence. Is there anything in his testimony? Is there anything in the evidence that shows that? I don't know. He didn't look desperate to me. Did he look desperate to you guys, or you know, like he doesn't seem desperate. He just seems like I don't like, bro. I done did 10 years on a murder and a gun charge and a robbery. Like, I'm not desperate for a lighter plea, a lighter sentence. I probably ain't gonna get one. I'm going down, but I'm just gonna sink. I'm taking the ship. I'm not gonna sink with this ship. I'm gonna cause the ship to sink. Like, fuck it. I don't think he's desperate. So I just think that he doesn't want to be the only one to go. He doesn't want to be the fall guy. Is basically what it boils down to. And he feels jaded. So to me, he seemed jaded, not desperate. So, which is a fucking huge difference. Um, is it a big enough difference to cause a conviction for Lil Durk and them? Who knows? Only time will tell. This is just the fourth day, and it's like Trap Lord Ross said, we got a long ways to go. So anyway, their second point was, in the defense's cross-examination was, and their strategy was highlighting emotional bias. The defense capitalized on Jam's emotional admission that he, quote unquote, feels bad for testifying and still has a lot of love for Lil Durk because Durk took care of him financially while incarcerated. The defense is using this to argue that Durk's financial support was purely charitable and fraternal, rather than funding for a criminal enterprise or a hit squad. I mean, that's kind of teeter totter, you know what I mean? Because it's like when you're a musical artist, you gotta have security, and people that grew up in the trenches are more likely to have um, people that either they've been around or a motherfucker that other people can vouch for. At the end of the day, so I don't like for them to say Dirk's financial support was purely charitable and fraternal. I guess that's where the fraternal comes in, because fraternal is, it's like you're taking care of your brother, you're taking care of somebody from your fraternity. So like, yeah, like that would be a good point to make. But as far as being charitable, I don't know. I don't know if that'll work. I mean, Lil Durk is a charitable person. He just donated lots of money to charity and foundations, and probably put millions and millions of dollars for the community, turkey drives, backpack runners, kids for school, that kind of shit. So so we'll see. The next highlight in the strategy is shifting blame to other associates, which has been debatable and it's controversial. It's caused a lot of controversy because people are calling him a snitch. Um, Whether he is or isn't, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I don't think when it comes to the federal doing life in the feds and the position Dirk is, all bets are off. The rules is out the window. He ain't getting on. Now he's not. He's not like saying. Basically he's saying I had no knowledge of. If they did, I didn't co-sign it. Like how the fuck am I? I'm the head CEO of this huge ass company. How the fuck do I know their every move? Matter of fact, Dirk told him don't book nothing in my name because he probably already knows how they get down and that they're prone to violence. So it's like don't do something that's gonna fall back on me because I don't want shit to do with it. Like y'all want to be my entourage and we got beef with people from the street. We got beef like I think Lil Durk, bro, has had more people that's passed away that were either members of OTF that I ever heard of. Like 15, 20 people. Let's say he first got, he was like I don't know, like 2012, somewhere around there, 2011. Like everybody, like his managers being killed, like countless artists are being killed. Like it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And like that's why half of them are in jail and the other half is gone. So it's like you kind of gotta constantly have a revolving door and rotating motherfuckers coming out of prison. coming out of the street. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got real bad curse. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, but so it says the defense is aggressively leaning into their core narrative that Durk was a big fish targeted by prosecutors, arguing that any actual logistics or criminal coordination mentioned by Jam was handled independently by other individuals, such as Durk's former personal assistant, Kevon Grant, OTF Vonnie. So he's I'm not sure when he's supposed to testify, but like that's gonna be the hammer that hits the nail in the coffin for Lil Durk. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the closest one, but at the same time, he's not blaming Vonnie. I think that's where the controversy. People are calling him a rat because basically he's Trap Lord Ross had made a video and he's like, oh, he's putting all the blame on OTF Vonnie, and that's not what's happening. But Vonnie, he's the one that coordinated like everybody who's on the stand and is testifying, who gave statements, all said they got guns and they got money from Vonnie. Durk didn't give shit to none of them personally. Um, that's the status quo. Vonnie gave uh like the guns for Jam, the guns for now. He might have said this is coming from Durk, and that's basically what they're saying. But if there's no proof of that, like the law and convictions and trial ain't about fucking hearsay. Sometimes, yeah, hearsay will work and like you can get convicted because from word of mouth or a personal opinion, but 9 times out of 10, it's cold hard facts, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't give a fuck about rumors, they want to see the receipts. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. This shit's been all over the internet. So it's like, if there's something in there that happened today that I'm missing, mind you, I'm just reading off Chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, I've seen people like Seti Nash and like Trap Lord Ross and these other YouTubers and bloggers. You know what I'm saying? But like there was just some things in here that I just felt like it's missing from what happened. You know, like they're giving their personal opinion because they're there, like like Trap Lord Ross is the boots on the ground. Seti Nash is he's kind of just there. Like I don't know, he's alright. He's a fucking he's one of those smart dumb motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell, you can literally tell dude a fact and he'll give his opinion and it'll be completely different. You know what I mean? Like anyway, so none of them said anything about Jam's cross examination. That was the main reason why I wanted to drop this video was because nobody was speaking about the cross examination. Everybody talking about the testimony. Everybody talking about what he said. Nobody was saying about like what the defense was doing. So that's why I brought this because I wanted to highlight Brian Steele and the defense and how people are fucking up by calling Durk a snitch and yada yada yada. So um, it says cross examination is heavily active as the defense works to pick apart Jan's timeline of the events in Los Angeles. Uh, Now, that's kind of where it stops because I think that's where court adjourned for the day and they sent everybody home. So tomorrow they're going to continue with the next half of the cross examination and they're gonna talk more about. I think they're gonna try to pick more about. Um, it says right here that it's going to be the co-defendant's term. After Lil Durk's primary attorney Brian Steele finishes his specific line of questioning, the defense lawyers representing the other OTF co-defendants will get their opportunity to cross-examine Jam. So, like, you got OTF DD, his lawyer is gonna want to fucking talk to Jam, and I don't know, like, if you've been keeping up with Didi's lawyer, but dude, Didi's lawyer fucks up constantly. And from what I've been hearing, man, like every time the motherfucker gets up there and starts to talk, Everybody else like got their face palming themselves. They're shaking their head. They're like, "What the fuck is going on?" You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is this son bitch talking about? Like, um, some people say he's compassionate. Some people say he's making a buffoonery and he's about some tomfoolery. I don't know, but anyway, so that's that. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting indeed. So, but now, mind you, there's three murder for hire trials going on right now. Three of these bitches. Um, the murder of Mo 3, the fucking 30-year-old murder of Tupac, and the motherfucking Lil Pab Durk for hire. I mean Durk for hire. Goddamn, the Lil Durk murder for hire. And it's like, why? I don't understand. Because there's something going on that they're trying to distract from. My opinion, again. And I think the Mo 3 and the Durk, they're trying to take away from the Tupac. There's shit going on in the Tupac trial, man, that like people are skipping over generally or just missing altogether. So, we'll have to just wait and see. So if you get a chance, check those other trials out, man. And but but yeah, if you fuck with the video, man, drop a comment and let me know what you think. If you agree with it or what. Well, I'll try to keep up to date. I'm bad about I procrastinate. I'm bad about that shit. I try to keep the Lil Durk trials up to date and every day put out like a general summarization of what the notes that I can find on the internet. Obviously I can't be there, but anyway, so that's all we got, man. Hug the people you love the people you hug, and I'm gone.